Hey you guys. Okay, so my name is Bella. For anyone who doesn't know, welcome to my channel. New videos every Thursday. So if you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and come on back next week for more. Alright, so today we are here to talk about the show Handmaid's Tales. Okay, if you guys haven't seen the show Handmaid's Tale, pretty much what I've discovered from watching it, I'm all caught up. It's on Hulu. It's a Hulu original show. And what I've discovered is it's pretty much just white women slavery. It's like roots for white women, sort of. And it's just crazy to me how many parallels this show has with slavery. It's like so many similarities. And I'm like, can this be a coincidence? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me give you guys a quick little summary of the show if you guys haven't seen it. So basically it's a show where it's set in America, the US, and something wrong with like fertility. The fertility rate is like really low, like 10 babies born a year, something crazy like that. Basically the society decides that like they kind of blame women in a way for it, and like promiscuous women and stuff like that or something. They pretty much capture, kidnap, take all the women who are fertile, have had children, and they put a red tag on their ear, and they make them reproduce for these like upper class rich couples that are married. Like it's very based on like the Bible supposedly. That's one thing that's like that caught me right off, like, ooh, that's like slavery. Like they keeping them captive by making them think that this is God's will, this is God's way. The main character is Offred, or June is her real name. But another thing that's like slavery is they take your real name and they give you their name. So they like take your identity, which is something else I was like, that's like slavery too. They pretty much, okay, there's gonna be a lot of spoiler alerts. I'm just gonna let y'all know if y'all want to see the show. I mean, I'm not gonna tell nothing too crazy. Honestly, I'm not gonna like give away any big things that happen in the show, but I am gonna tell a lot about the show. I'm gonna give a lot of details, but I'm not gonna, like, if you watch it, you'll still be surprised by there's a lot of craziness. But basically they're raping these women. They're taking these women and they are letting the husbands of these upper class couples have sex with the women while their wife is right there, like holding them, and they're like their servants. And these women have no rights. They're not allowed to read. Slavery. There's like an underground railroad. Slavery. There's even lynchings, like slavery. Like they lynch people, and then they have their body just hanging there as like an example to keep you scared, like scare tactics. And as I'm watching the show, I'm just like, did they steal slavery from us? Did they steal our story? I know a lot of people watch the show and they're just like, oh, this is like such a radical, this is just such an appalling, crazy, something that could never happen. And I'm like watching it like, no, this is fake. This is based on reality. This is based on slavery. And it's like, did they take our story? Did they steal slavery from us? Like, it's just crazy because it's like all of the handmaids are pretty much white women, which I think is kind of interesting. But I think they do it just for the aesthetic of like seeing them all look so uniform. I don't know, because a lot of the main characters are black. Besides the main character and the handmaids, there's a lot of black people around this handmaid, like her friends, her husband, her child. They're all like black. So I thought that was really interesting that none of the handmaids necessarily are black, really. Maybe like one. But a lot of the Marthas, which is like the cooks, are black or something ethnic. A lot of people around June are black, like her closest people. Even the guy who maybe not so much. Yeah, a lot of black people. And I was like, it seems like somebody caught on to this because this is based off a book. So I'm like, okay, somebody wrote this book, and when they made this show, decided to make it into a show, I'm like, someone had to have made that connection of like, this is slavery. Come on now. Like, I can't be the only one who sees all these similarities. You know, someone had to say that. So I feel like out of guilt, they're throwing all these black characters in the story, because like, okay, the slaves aren't actually black, but we're gonna make sure we put y'all in the story, because you know the black people actually. Yeah, it's you gotta watch the show and then you'll be able to like understand. If you watch the show, let me know if you get what I'm saying. I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be crazy if someone wrote this show? I know this is I don't think this is it, because the show was the book first, so it's not even like it's just a show and we don't know how it's gonna end, because the book, I'm sure a lot of people have read it. There's an ending and it's not what I'm gonna say. What would be really interesting if this wasn't a book and this was like an original thing, and it was to kind of shine a light on how unsympathetic or empathetic people are towards slavery. And because they are doing, let me tell you, they are doing some appalling, horrific things. They're cutting off people's fingers, gouging out eyes. They take you and they pretty much, like slavery, brainwash you and beat you into submission. And they read you the Bible and make you think that this is all God's will, like slavery. And it all seems very like radical, wild, like crazy, like something that could never happen. And actually these things happened, which is even crazier. And I feel like it would be so crazy if it was to show like, okay, you see this, it's easy to empathize with a white defenseless woman, like,
oh my gosh, this woman's going through all this stuff, how can they do that? Oh my god, that's not fair. God help her. Why would anyone do this? This is so inhumane.
Okay, you feel sorry for this white woman, right? She's going through all this stuff. Now let's flip it and to make everybody black and put this and see it. This is slavery. Now how do you feel? If you don't care, if you're like, oh, that nigger deserved it, you're racist. And I feel like that's how a lot of people feel. It's like they have no empathy for slavery. And it's like, if you watch this show, the trauma, the mental, like, oh my gosh, like the way these people are just, you can slap them, beat them, kill them, and nothing will be said. Like no one will bat an eye at it. It'll just be like, okay. Like if you're an upper class person and you kill or beat someone, it's fine. You can do whatever you want with these people. That's like slavery. You have no rights. We had no, people don't see that. And just imagine, please, if you haven't seen the show, go watch it, because I want people to understand. Like, imagine people going through these things for generations and generations, hundreds and hundreds of years. And then you just think, okay, you're free, go and be in the regular society. That's not something, after being so traumatized, I feel like all black people should get free counseling. It's crazy to me that white people especially don't understand, because they're so obsessed with like psychology and the brain and mental states. And if you know about all that stuff, you know that trauma can be passed down from generation to generation, cycles, and it's not something you just, once you're out of it, you're out of it. No, you hold it with you and you pass it on, you give your kids, it's a cycle. And it's so crazy to me that people don't understand that. And I'm like, wouldn't that be cool if this was a show to actually shine a light like on all the things that happen, but put it in a character that you can maybe sympathize with more, and then they flip it like, okay, but this is really who it went through. Now how you feel? Yeah, I know that's not gonna happen, but that would be so dope to like do that, to kind of, you know what I'm saying, to make it more easy for people to, like I said, to feel sorry for this character. Like, oh, she's like a mother. Oh, you know something else that made me feel some kind of way though? Okay. Okay, now this is gonna give something away. I'm gonna let y'all know. Okay, June's husband is black or mixed or something, but black. And she stole him. I know you can't really steal it, but she basically was sleeping with him while he was married and messing with him, and because of that he left his wife. And I was just like, they probably not gonna show a wife, but I wonder if the wife is black. Lo and behold, sister come out confronting June like, can you back away from my husband? Like we can work it out if you would just stay out of it. And she's like, well, you guys we're separated for a while now, but they weren't separated when they started messing around, but then they separated for a while after, and then she's still trying to come and like get her husband back, and that made me feel some type of way. This whole show is just making me feel, I like this show, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna stop watching the show. I'm not gonna lie, it's just because it's so crazy, but it does make me feel a way sometimes, like the whole slavery thing, and plus like the fact that she took this black woman's husband from her. Like, I don't know. And I don't know. It didn't rub me the right way at all. I was kind of like, oh, well, maybe June is getting what she deserves. That's kind of how I felt when I found out she stole that woman's husband. I was like, oh, well, when she got slapped, maybe she deserves to get slapped. Maybe that karma. I don't know, maybe. It's just crazy. Like, people don't get how many crazy things happened during slavery. Like, this show is totally something that has happened in America. Here in the US that we live in right now, these things have happened. You know, it seems like such a fictional, far-fetched story, but it's not. It's really not. Like, it's really not. Like, they don't, like, the lives, like, our lives just didn't matter. Like, people don't get why we gotta say Black Lives Matter. People don't get it still, and it's like, because this is how we were treated. And you don't go from treated like nothing to treated equal. People don't see that. So it's like we're trying to get to equal. You know, we're getting treated more and more like a human, but like at one point they used our babies for alligator bait. What kind of people do that? Like, that is disgusting, horrible. Like, could you imagine someone taking your bait? Like, that's traumatizing. People don't get how much traumatic stuff happens. And I want people to watch this show and think of it as this stuff actually happened. I don't want them to see it and be like, oh, this is just this crazy, unrealistic thing. No. This is something that actually has happened in this country. And this is crazy. Like, it's really interesting that they're using this story. And like I said, it would be dope if they were trying to do that, but I know that's not, it's based on a book, so that's not what's happening. But that would be dope, because a lot of people need to have their eyes opened up to how they are. Like, you can empathize for this person, but you can't empathize for this person. In the same situation, this one, the life doesn't matter to you as much as this. And people don't see that. And that's what I think could be so beautiful in this show being a show. All these women who have gone through this stuff, even a short amount of time they've gone through this in this show, they gonna definitely need some counseling after. Like, come on, it's only been some years, like maybe a few years, couple years, something like that. But they're definitely gonna need, because they've seen some things, they felt something, they've been, you know, raped and beaten and just seeing people killed in front of them. They make them kill people. Like, it's crazy. The show is ridiculous. And like I said, this has people hanging, and this becomes your normal. You gotta be like, when something like that becomes your normal, you being nothing and having to like just bring yourself to the lowest state for somebody, to serve somebody, you have to be brought out of that mindset and know that you are worthy. And Black Lives Matter doesn't mean just to other people. We need to know our lives matter, because we a lot of times don't value our own lives, which is sad. So y'all know I was gonna go there with this, but you know, I had to give a little, you know, how I feel about just, you know, on some black stuff, because you know, y'all know how my videos are at this point. If y'all been watching my videos, y'all know what I come here and talk about for the most part. And yeah, it's just watching the show just really rubbed me this type of way of like, do people realize what they're watching? That this is our story. This is our story, and it's brought to you in a different way. And like I said, it could be a good thing, because it can shine a light on people. I hope that people are making this connection of like, this is not just an outrageous story. Because I know this movie is winning a lot of awards. It's like I've heard about this movie a long time before I started watching. My friend Hazel, hey Hazel, got me to watch it. And it's a big thing, it's a big deal. And I hope that people can take this show and learn, like, and because you feel so much for this character, it can help you feel for Black people and what we've gone through and what we are still going through in this country. Because like I said, these things are cycles. It's not something that we're out of. Like I said, even colorism and certain things, a lot of that is from being colonized and slavery, and you know, people throwing their culture and throwing their name, throwing who they are on you and making you feel like you need to be this. And yeah. And if you guys watch this show, let me know if y'all understand, like if y'all get it. Tell me if I missed some parallels between this and slavery. Like, let me know, because this is like, has anyone else realized this? This can't be only me. There's just so many parallels. It is slavery. Like, it's not even like kind of like it. No, this is slavery. Like, this is the story of slavery for sure. Like, you can't deny it. Yeah, so yeah. Alright, so if you guys like this video and you get where I'm coming from, Y'all already know what to do. Help a sister out and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff. And come on back next week for more. Well, alright, you guys. Until next time.